Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very new program that we're launching from ITeLearn. And this program is specifically oriented towards teaching early young minds to learn programming using Java. So, thank you all for being here, or thank you for watching the video. Later, let's continue and show you what's going to happen today. Before I get into the specific agenda of what we will do today, I wanted to quickly give you a brief overview of where I started and how this concept came into being. So, everyone, primarily what has happened is that I have been training people in the IT field, software field for over 6 to 7 years. I have trained over thousands of people online, and while teaching, typically what happens is people attend these sessions like you're doing today online. And my voice, my teaching reaches not only the people who are attending, but also their children. And this is the feedback that I've been getting from the children of these students that have been attending my program, who said primarily that it is so easy to understand a programming language like Java or VBScript or Python or so on. And that realization made me believe that yes, the programming language or anything like Java and so on can be taught to young minds and they will be able to start very early. So, having believed in that concept, we've come up with this program, and this session is to give you an overall idea on what's going to happen. So, this is an orientation session, and we're going to talk about what this programming and Java is all about. Why are we trying to focus this for young adults, young kids? How the training is going to be working once we start on it? What is going to be the involvement from parents and teachers as a support system to do this? And lots of questions from you that I'll be glad to take. At this point, I'm going to take a quick second to make sure that everyone is able to hear me good. And if you have any questions, anything to share, please use the question and answer section within the GoToWebinar to put your question, and we'll be glad to answer as we go along. All right, looks like my audio is good, and you also can see the session, the screen. All right, very good. Let's continue. So that's the agenda for today. And before we get going into the next one, I just wanted to talk about computer programming and IT. Now, I know a lot of you would be coming from different fields, different areas. I have a poll question coming up shortly that will ask about that. But let me ask you this. How many of you know what is computer programming in IT? What does it do? And team, this is a one-way communication from an audio standpoint. Your communication to me will be as the chat. So please use the chat and tell me, what do you believe as computer programming and IT? And I know there are students, there are teachers, and there are parents sitting in the same session. That's a great forum to have. And I want to understand what your perspective is. Very brief answer. You don't have to be right, you don't have to be wrong. It's just your answer. And since there are so many participants who attend this session, it is absolutely fine for you. You don't have to feel shy or feel any way down when you're answering a question, be it right or wrong. Just go ahead and answer. Yes, that's perfect. IT is information technology. What do we do with it? Why is it so popular? I just want to interact with your team so that we can work towards the next goal. And having a young audience will give me so many new ways of thinking in life. So information technology I've got. Someone said download it. See, you can download things using IT and computer programming. That is a perception. Unless I see that coming from any of the audience, I wouldn't know. With the help of programming, we can run applications. Perfect. That's a very technical question. Yes. Testing of apps. There you go. Because everyone uses smart learning. What I'm doing, team, is reading out the answers that I'm getting from the audience right now. Perfect. Keep going, team. I want to really hear from you. This is your session. I want to hear a lot from you. What else? What else does it do? What is computer programming? Why is it so popular? So let's look at what I put out here, and you can continue to add. So there's also can program to automate the systems. Another very technical answer, which is good. Let's talk about makes life easy. Perfect. It makes life easy for all of us, makes things easier so that we can do our everyday activities, be it at home, be it at work, or anywhere easy. So let's talk about what it is. You write a code that runs on a computer or a mobile or anywhere it could run, correct? That is something that goes with us. How about building a website and applications to run businesses? Maybe little technical for young adults to understand, but I want to slowly introduce one after the other. It will become very easy for you to understand. We will get into them at a length later. How about helps provide solutions to complex world problems? So I've very successfully managed to confuse you as a young adult. Why? Because these are not easy to understand. Not only for kids, anyone who's not from a technology background, computer background, they will not be able to understand such words, such language. What is a code? What is a mobile computer apps? Complex world, provide solutions. And I want you to get away from these thoughts. Do not think about the programming or Java for kids in this manner. This is a no no. Okay? When you finish it, you will understand these things well. But at this point, you don't have to. So then, what should you be thinking in terms of? They are great paying jobs. Absolutely, yes. Why not? Is it not in the back of the mind that the IT profession, for a lot of us who've come from an Asian Indian origin, has given us that strength and that stability in jobs, and they pay very well. For a young kid, it might be too young or too early for you to think, hey, what? But don't you think someday you'll start earning? Someday you'll build a career. Don't you want to buy the big cars, big houses, and be really rich and happy? And this is a career option that way. And there is nothing wrong in thinking about it right now and saying, yes, that's a good option. It has got great career options. When I say awesome career options, how is it different from earning money? Career and money is very different, team. Career may let you travel, may let you meet people, it may make you proud of something, it will give you recognition, awards, and applause. People will clap for you when you do build a strong career. It could be a career in sports, in music, in technology, in medicine, whatever be it. Along with it, if it also pays very well, that is what we all wish to do. When we start learning, when we start going to schools, colleges, that is the ambition for most of us. Yes or no, everyone? Do you agree with what I'm saying? Now, how about the other one? How about thinking it as a hobby and a passion? And that is one thing that we have not been exposed to, team. We are not looking at computer programming and IT as a hobby and a passion. Today, most of you know how to use a WhatsApp or a Facebook or go online, do some Google search or play Minecraft and so on. Yes, we know that. But we don't know that behind all this, there is so much of interesting stuff that you could build a hobby and a passion towards it. And that is something we will discover as we go along to you. Okay, I want you to understand that this is gonna be fun. It is not gonna be a serious thing. Yes, we'll have great career options. Yes, we will look at those earlier three sentences, long ones that I put, which I successfully managed to confuse you. But we will focus more on this being a hobby and a passion than anything. And that is the reason we said it's an online summer camp, because summer camps typically you're trying to groom your physical body or into arts or into swimming or sports. This is something like that I want you to think. Okay, let me ask you this question, team. Why do you learn to drive? Do we learn to drive a car because we want to go from, let's say, from one place to the other, from home to work, or from home to a theater or home to a park? Correct. Then why don't we buy any car? We can buy any car, right? Any car will do that. What do we look for it then? We look for speed, we look for comfort, we look for How affordable is it? We look for so many options and then we decide that this is the car we want to buy. When your parents want to buy a car, why do you recommend? Because you see that that ad is good, or these kids seem to be happy, those kids seem to be happy. So you look at someone doing it, someone driving it, someone going in it, and then you get inspired by it. Yes, and that is why you learn to drive team. It is not just because you want to go from A to B. It is something emotionally connecting to you. And that is why any car is not okay. You have your favorite choices. Of course, we want to buy a Ferrari or we want to buy a sports car, maybe a lot of us, or but then we know why and how and when we can do this. But I want you to understand that the buying a car experience is not about going from one place to the other. It is how emotionally connected you feel. Do you like doing it? And so on. Same thing with why do we go to school, team? Why do we go to school, all of us? And why do you send your kids to schools? Is any school okay? I'm not trying to come towards ITeLearn or myself as Karthik, but I'm trying to understand our thought process. How do we think as people? We go to school so that the kids can build a successful career in their future. Correct? That is why we go to school or we send our kids to school. Now, any school is okay? No. We want to specialize and send them into the top schools that we can afford, that is within our reach or closer to us. Our thinking is like that. Why? Because we are given choices and we want to take the best when it comes to it. The same thing with a career. You can also become a sports star, you can also become a doctor, you can become a scientist, you can get into the field of business and entrepreneurship. So I am saying that every field has got its own plus and minuses, and this whole summer camp is actually going to be about you learning some basic concepts and seeing if it will become a hobby for you and a passion for you. That is it. We are not trying to make you a master at it yet. No, you will not become the best one in Java in the next 1 month. You will start to like it and say, ah, okay, that's great. Oh, this is how it works. Very interesting. I can't sleep now. I want to work on it. I want to write one more program. What if I do this? What if I do that? That is what I want you to do. So the last one I said is, if you want to drive, you'll just learn driving, but you don't have to learn to be a mechanic or an engineer to know how everything works. Correct? Do you know where the steering is, where the gears are, where we have the gas, accelerator, brake, and the clutch? That's it. And we know those basics when we'll get started. As you go along, you will start to learn more and more about the car as much as needed. And that is the idea, team. All right. All right, great. So, quick question to everyone. I want you to help me in recognizing some of these, please. And tell me what you feel about them and who they are. Let's see. Do you know who he is? Anyone? Kids, parents? These are people I may relate very well with. So I know for sure because I searched and I put them. But I don't know how many of you will recognize. Anyone recognize the first picture? No, it's not me. I wish I had that passion for driving very early. Okay, let's see the next picture. Let's see if you recognize. Now, yes, how many of you recognize this picture? Okay, there you go. Someone said it's Aishwarya. I don't know why, but Sachin. Okay, Tendulkar. So most of you got it, right? You've got the idea that that's Sachin. So that's a young star. How about this? Let's see how many go for this. Prabhudeva. Nice. Michael Jackson, Abraham Lincoln. See, this is where the kids are fun to interact with because they're also got that naughtiness in them. They know it's not the right answer, but they don't hesitate in giving it. And that's the mind I want to really get to programming. Because trust me, guys, you guys will rock it. Michael Jackson. That's perfect. So the first picture was Michael Schumacher, the Formula One car driver. All right. Let's see. How many of you know this young kid, Wiz? Bill. All right, there you go. That's Bill Gates. So Bill Gates, most of you know, right? So if not, go Google it, find out who Bill Gates is, and get a good idea, team. So I just wanted you to show this and get you to a realization, but we will come to it in a little while as to why I showed you those pictures. Okay, we're going to come to it. Now let's talk about who you are, team. I want to take a quick poll. A poll is basically in this GoToWebinar, I will launch something called as a poll, and it'll talk about giving you a question and a few answers. So what you see right now on your screen is a poll. That is a way for me to interact with each of you. So there is a question and you could put an answer to it. So what are the three options? You are a parent who's either sitting with the kid or looking at this program evaluating for your kids, or you're a teacher who's looking to motivate young minds, or you're a student and you need to rock this. You really want to see what this is all about and go talk to your friends and say that this is where I am in. So you can choose your option and submit, and we will get the votes. So right now we've got 52% of the votes from the participants. I'm going to give 5 more seconds and hope to get more votes, team. So please continue to add your responses. I'm going to give 3 more seconds and I'm going to close this. All right, perfect. So let me share the results with all of you. Now, let's see, where is it? Okay. Can you all see the results on the screen? This is what you all have given, team. You said 29% of the audience right now are parents, 71% are students, and I'm very unhappy to the fact that there's only 0% teachers in here. So though we've tried to go meet a lot of teachers and say, please join and see what we could do for your kids that you teach, it didn't happen, and not a problem, because we're going to do this session again on 30th, and at that time hopefully we'll get some of this audience going. But at least we've got a good percentage of people, of students, which is what we want to target. And thank you so much, parents, for being here and showing your kids what they could do. That's very important, to sit by them and motivate them. All right, so that is all about who are you. That is for me to know, and that is for you also to know who the audience is. Okay. All right, next let's talk about Java, team. So how many of you know what Java is? I really wanted to put a poll question on it, but that's fine, because I know it is not something that everyone may be aware of. What happens is very simple, team. Okay. Now let's say if I need to go and learn music, let's say very simple, a piano. Okay. When I want to go and learn a piano, am I going to be an adult there? No, I will be a kid. I will be very young. Why? Because I have no idea about piano. In fact, kids can learn piano faster than me. Why? Because they're in already learning mode. We are trying to learn. It's easier for you to learn something else. For us, we are not learning anything so much as you guys are doing in your school and your friend circle and so on. So what happens is, even if I have to go to learn piano, I am a kid. So when I say Java for kids, it is not just for kids who are of the ages of 12 years and above. It can go upwards, team. But that we will come to. But let's talk about what Java is very briefly. I'll not go into technical terms. And the least thing that we will do, team, when we get into the training is talk anything theory. It is going to be fun. It's going to be all projects, exercises, and you will be doing a lot of them yourself, and it's going to be good. So see, I've already got answers like it's a program, it's a language, it's a Java is an object-oriented programming language. And I want everyone to take all of that and just put it in a trash. I don't care what it is. All that you need to be aware is this thing. It is very popular, and it's got a long lifeline. In the sense, it's going to be there for a long time. It will not die out tomorrow. So if you learn Java today, another 20 years also it may be very popular, because that is how deep Java has gone into our daily lives. Yes, it is not too easy, not too hard, just right. And we're not here to learn how to make a cake. Even that is hard for me because I have never baked a cake. But the fact is, once you start learning anything, then you'll realize, be it cycling, swimming, anything in life, team, you can learn it. It is just the right way to approach and right way to look at it. Once you learn one programming language, which is Java is a programming language, yes, others are easy. Any programming language, because 70-80% of the process or how things work is the same. It is like saying that once you learn to ride a car, it is not going to be too tough for you to ride a truck or an SUV or a sports car. There are few changes into it, correct? That is what I want you to know. I don't want you to know that Java is a big programming language, it's object oriented, it has got these features. No, that you should recognize when you start doing it. Okay, sorry. And very importantly, team, it is very interesting. That is what you should know. It is extremely interesting. You will like it and you may really love what you're doing. And what happens when you love something? Remember those 4 5 stars that I showed you, early pictures of people, of kids? They loved what they did, and what happened to it? They become very good at it, and it'll take them into a very successful career. And that is what my intent is out here. Okay. All right, team. Sorry, give me a second, please. Sorry, team. I lost my voice for a second. Give me a minute, please. All right, team. Let's talk about why Java for kids. Why am I talking about focusing on kids? As I said, kids 12 years plus, and it can go all the way up to 40 and so on. It is just your career option, what you want to do, but just the fact that you could learn early. Is it because you want to get a certificate for you and schools? Is that why you want to learn Java? Or is it because you want to tell your friends and family that, yes, see, I'm learning something like this? Is that the reason? What I'm trying to understand is this why you're trying to learn? Is this why you're here? Or do you think that it is not possible to learn Java this early? It's too early for anyone in a career to learn something like this. And also the concept that why learn something now and forget later? And I want to be able to answer to all of these things. The fact that if you learn swimming now, you will not forget later. If you learn cycling now, you'll not forget later. If you learn driving, same thing. A lot of these skills, motor skills and programming skills, you'll not forget. You will remember it. But yes, if you give gap, you need to brush up a little. But what we are trying to do is lay a foundation. We are not trying to make you masters at it. Who is going to make you a master? Yourself. What we're doing is I want you to understand Java is fun and you can learn it. And if you start practicing on it, you will really love it and you'll not stop doing it. Now, let's talk about the right reasons for why kids for Java. This is the right reasons, team. Okay. Early start, early mastery. You start early, you have great opportunities to master early. And team, I don't know how many of you are aware, but the whole world is coming up with young business people. Kids in the age groups of 10, 12, and so on are building their own companies. They're making applications, they're developing things, or they're selling things online. And they're doing all of this because they got an early exposure. They started early, they saw someone doing it, they got interested, now they're doing it. It will groom the young minds and sharpen your brain's team. It is almost like going for a Olympiad exam preparation or trying to learn a very new skill that is very brain intensive. All that we need to do is start thinking and doing, and this will only sharpen your brain. Some of you may not be very strong from a thinking or intellectual perspective. I can understand. Some of you might be very smart. I can understand. But this program will only make you better when you start learning these kind of concepts early. We are about halfway into the session. I'm going to quickly wrap this and start taking questions. You can set an earlier career track and start seeing, is it what you want to do? And absolutely fine. Go ahead, become a doctor. Go ahead, become a pilot. Go ahead, join the army. Go do whatever you want in your career. But at least see what this is. That's it. Okay. And I want you to build a passion and see if you like it. And that could be a hidden talent that you may bring. So it builds a confidence and you can compete globally. This session, I'm doing it from Los Angeles team, and there'll be people from across the world who will attend it, just not people from one country and so on. So you will start be able to interact with people globally and see how they are doing and get inspirations. All right. As I said, the right reasons is because you may just love it. And that's what I want you to understand. All right, team. So, how many of you have seen this picture early? It's a very, very old picture that has been on the internet for a long time. If all of you have been on WhatsApp, probably would have seen this. Now, what do you see in this picture? Give me an answer, please. What do you see in this picture, everyone? You can see a kid, a woman being ignorant. Ignorant because did she turn the face to the other side? Yes. See, this is the nose, this is the cheeks, eyebrows, hair, chin. This is the chin, correct? So, this is the young woman that you see. Do you see anything else? A woman turned back. A girl, a young lady, a woman turned back. 1 second, please. Now, anything else do you see, team? Do any one of you see an old woman in this? Do anyone see an old woman? Only one of you sees an old woman. Try and look at it again, team. This is an old image, so I'm sure a lot of you would have seen it. But the first time when someone sees it, they get an aha realization. Oh, is it? Now let's think for a second that these are the eyes, this is the nose out here, and this is the mouth. And that's correct, team. So you see both of them. And the reason I put this is for you to start looking at things differently. Always through these sessions, you will start getting that realization. Ah, okay, is it how? Oh, yes, that's correct. I see them, I see it. So I want you to get that experience, team. Before we go there, second poll, just a quick one to understand your age group, team. I want to know how old you are, and uh, that way we know who the main audience is right now. And I'm so glad, team. This is the first time I'm ever addressing such a young crowd because most of the participants who come to me are professionals who finished the graduation and they're looking for a very quick start in their IT career. And then they come to me for very advanced high end courses. But I'm glad that there are participants who are coming from a different section altogether. I've got 70% votes in 75. Team, another 5 seconds. I'm going to close it. So please take your time and vote, please. Okay, 78% in. I'm closing this poll now. So we've got significant number of votes, and here are the results. Can everyone see it on the screen, the results? Can you all see, please? Okay, excellent. So there you go. 62% are in the age group of 20 years and under, 10% in 21 to 40, and then we have 19%, 41 years and more. So very happy to have you all here. Thank you so much for being there. The intent for doing this is for me to understand who the audience is, also for you to understand who your fellow participants are. I wanted to take a little time and talk about the process and how the overall training will work. But team, I will leave this for the day one. The first day when we start, I will focus on that. Okay. What will be covered? What will we do in it? How will things go on? That we will do it as part of the first day, which I believe is 4th May for US, and it's going to be 5th May for India. I'm not 100% sure. The timing will come to you through the email. So let's talk about something else. Let's try and quickly wrap up what we've discussed so far, and then I'll be glad to take any questions that you have. So, primarily, Java is going to be fun, it is going to be easy, it is great for building an early career and to spend your time during your summer vacation. You may love it, you may master it. That is a team. That is all that I want to say. And if you look at any other field, it is the same thing. Swimming, biking, trekking, racing, music, all of it is the same concept. And I want you to understand this not as something that you have to go and learn. It is an optional thing. So it is out of interest that you have to do. And I'll invite you all for the first 2 days. You should join those day one and day two where we start doing Java programming, and you will get a good idea of how things will run there. All right. And to quickly wrap up, we'll also talk about projects or theory. So we will not do any theory, team. This is the only PowerPoint that I will use. Everything else that we will do will be pure programming, and we will talk about that ABCs of it, but in a very practical nature. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very intense. You will be focused on the session, and we will go through it in a very, very interesting fashion. So I want to make sure that you are focused on it, and that's when you may like it. All right. Online summer camp is cool. Why? You don't have to go out of the house. You can sit at home, do it at least for 2-3 hours. The kids are in front of the parents. They're doing something. My intent is how can I put you guys at home for more than 5-6 hours? Because we're going to do 1 hour of training every day, Monday to Friday, 1 hour each day. You'll have about 1 to 2 hours of exercise time after the session. So you have to complete it before you come back to the next session. Some people like it so much they'll start doing more and more, and that is where you can spend a lot of time. The great thing, you don't have to go anywhere. Just like you're attending today, I'm going to show you online how I program, what I do. You'll take notes. You will also get the video of this offline, so you can go back, watch it, repeat it, and be able to practice all of this sitting at home or your friend's place and just really having a good time doing it. Yes, it'll build a lot of self-confidence. Why? Team, very simple. I didn't know swimming 2 years ago. I never knew swimming. But just to teach my daughter, I had to get into the water, and slowly I started learning swimming. Today I can swim decently okay. And I feel so good about myself that I learned something new. It builds a lot of confidence. Anytime you learn something new where you put in a little effort and it gives you a return, you will really like it, team. And I want you to experience that. Yes, we'll talk about train the brain and how we will set a roadmap for young adults. How am I so passionate to train? My passion is in teaching. I really love teaching. I really want to make sure that everyone in the audience is with me and they're learning with me and we are going in the same direction. What happens in online is I don't see you, and mostly even you don't see me. All we see is my screen and my audio, my voice, and through this I need to be able to keep you engrossed, and that is where I'm passionate about. I like teaching, I love programming as well, and I believe we can do very good. But are you passionate to learn, and do you want to discover a new skill? Is something I want you to explore. All right, so remember the pictures at the beginning I showed you. So what did you think about them? What did they do? They all started young. They didn't start at a later point. It doesn't matter when you start, team, but there's always an advantage when you start young. Had Sachin started playing cricket when he was 20, 21, do you think he would have got all those records? He started playing cricket when he was 15 and he went doing it all the way through his career till the last. That is why he had a long career record, right? Same with Michael Jackson. He started singing very early. How did he come up with so many numbers and so popular? Same with all these people. They've started early, team. And you can't start early if you don't have an exposure. Do you think Sachin just picked up the bat and said, I want to play cricket? No, he watched someone, he saw someone playing, he saw someone and he liked it. He thought, I should also try it. He got exposed to it. So is Michael Jackson. He came from a musical family. His father, his brothers, they were all in the musical family. They used to sing, they used to dance. He saw them and he got inspired. He got exposed to it and then he started liking. Same with almost all of these people, team. Somewhere they came in contact with it. So, for example, I have a passion for race cars. I saw it somewhere on TV or in person or someone riding it. And then I knew that I want a race car for myself. I built that. How? I got an exposure. So, we're trying to create that exposure for you early on. Then you may realize that there is a passion. That is what it is. So they started, they wanted to play around, and then they realized I like it. And once they started with an early start, they loved what they did. What will happen when they love what they do, team? You will become awesome at it. That is what will happen. All right, team. So what is this? Last question, last poll for everyone, and then we'll get into Q&A. This poll is about uh, is this course for you? It is about trying to understand, is this really for you? Is Java a popular programming language? And do you think that it is going to be right for you? Is what I want to understand. Three options: 100% yes, very much; 0%, I mean, not. I have no clue, not at all. So the reason I put these three options is I want people to be very honest and straight, at least in these online classes. What happens when I sit in a classroom and I ask a question? People say something and they turn their head. Oh no, I didn't say. Oh no, it was not me. It was this guy on the side or that girl on the side. Because they shy away from it and they see that, oh, okay. But in online, you don't have to, team. Be absolutely open and be clear and say what it is. That is the reason. So, team, another 5 seconds. I'm going to close the poll. So, please take your time and complete it so that I can share the results with everyone. And these are all your answers, team. There's no answers coming from my side. Okay, these are all your answers. You're all, as participants, putting this in. So I'm going to close the poll in 3, 2, 1. Okay, here are the results. How many of you can see the results? Must be here. So 89% of you said yes, very much. 11% said I have no clue. Thank you so much for letting me know that you have no clue, because that tells me, yes, there are participants who have no clue. We're not sure. How do I know if it's right for me, if this is going to be interesting and so on? If this is where I want to send the kids for summer camp? You will know it as we go along, but thank you so much for letting me know. Now I can try and get into that direction. All right, team. So that was the poll question, and I have hidden that result. Let's go forward with the next one. Questions and answers. Now the doors are open. We can ask questions, we can ask answers. I can give you answers. The one thing that I have not yet done is I have really not shown the structure of the program, the structure, the pricing, the timings. That we will send it to you via email. So through the email, you'll be able to see what is the schedule, what time it will start, what will we cover, how will it go on. To a brief extent, you will get that. Let's see if we have anything else as unique questions other than the regular ones, please. All right, team. Is Java helpful to become a game developer? Very good question. Thanks, Abhiram. So what happens is as I said, they're all programming languages. The basis of any kind of an application, be it a website, be it a game, be it a small program that runs on your sports car or your bike, or be it anything that runs on your smartphone also. All of this have to be programmed. So programming is the first block that we need to fit, and that's the foundation. Once you learn the programming, you can become any of these. Without learning programming, it will become tough for you to learn any of this. Now, to become a game developer, yes, programming you need, Yes, you'll need some more tools as you go along. So you start with the programming language and slowly you'll start using a lot of other reusable tools to build it. It is very simple. It is like saying, can I build a car, a race car myself? Absolutely. But first, you need to learn mechanics, how the cars work. And then we will give you all the tools, manufacturing equipment, the hammers and the screwdrivers and the tools and the welding machine. Then you become a race car builder. Same thing with game developer. You learn programming, then you'll use a lot of tools and start building the games with it. All right. Are we going to learn to make video game? That seems to be the most commonly asked question by kids. You will build a video game, yes, and you have to show me how you built it. Okay. When can we expect the email with those details? Within the next 24 hours, Ron, you will get the link with this video that we have done along with the details about the whole program. I am with a BBA background. Will it be helpful to me? So it's very simple, Alekia. If you want to learn swimming, let's say, will it be helpful for you? Maybe, absolutely. If God forbid there's a requirement and you need to swim, you are at least self-surviving through it. What if you want to learn music? Is it needed? Not needed. So I don't want anyone to think of this as a big career option, just something fun to look at. That is why I said, even if you want to go into business or medicine or so on, does not matter. This programming will change your perspective. You'll start looking at things differently and you'll start doing things more smart. And I want that exposure to come to each of you. All right. Would you please share the record of this session? Absolutely, yes. It will come to you within the 24 hours. We put it on YouTube and we give you a link. You can start going and watching there. Is it possible with 12 years children? In fact, I wanted to start with 10 years and above. It is absolutely possible with 12 years and above. And you should, in fact, go online and just say Java for kids, and you'll see so many programs already there. This is not something that I am the first one in this whole world to do it. It is already very popular. It has just not hit our market in your geographical locations. Uh, this is my strongest belief. I think the kids will do a wonderful job in getting there. Are you going to teach us as a game developer? Not necessarily, no, yeah, because it is very simple. You're still trying to build a race car, but I'm trying to make you the mechanic first. And as part of it, you'll also do some certain amount of small games. You will then take it and start going into the game development, be it your Minecraft or be it you want to put something like a Fruit Ninja or anything that you want, you could do it from there on. What are the things I can learn in Java? So Surya, as I said, I have not yet tabbed on that question. I will come to you what topics and how. Whatever is essential that is needed to launch a programming, your passion toward programming, we will be touching those. All right, teams, looks like that's about the questions for this session. And I would love to thank each and every one of you for coming in, participating in the polls, being attentive, and really spending the time with me. That's most valuable. And I look forward for you either in the next orientation session, which will be on 30th, or the actual training, which will be on the 4th or 5th. I want you to join and I want you to experience it and see what Java is all about. This is just to get you interested into the program. And once you get in, it'll become easy for you to take it from there. For us, the summer vacation starts from end of June. Want to know whether these classes are on weekdays? Yes, Ron, for now it's on weekdays, but I will definitely try and see how I can work because it is not necessarily summer for everyone across the globe. We will come back to you on that. Thank you, everyone. Thank you once again. Thank you for being here. Talk to you later. Take care. Have fun. Bye now.